Good morning, everyone. Hope all is well. So, we are going to be going live on our live session with a property entrepreneur, Sam Shafiq, who is going to be joining us now. Send him this invite. Here we go. Sam,
Hello.
good afternoon. How are
Hello.
you?
How you doing?
Good, good. All is well. And yourself?
Good. Sorry, I just woke up
It's
literally
all right.
about half
It's
an
a
hour ago. How are we
it's
doing?
it's 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 privileged to wake up at 12 p.m.
And
on a
literally
Monday.
just literally didn't even realize it's a Monday. I actually have a few viewings to do today, but I forgot totally about them. How
It's
you
all right.
doing?
Good, good. All is well. Firstly, thank you so much for joining me on my live session to share the knowledge and spread the positivity. The reason I do these live sessions is to um, spread that knowledge from people like yourself who join
Thank
me
you.
on these live sessions and share to what they've done in their life. Wow, I've got 1,000 people on my live right now. It's amazing. Super.
Thank
And
you.
that's down to you, Sam. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for joining me.
Appreciate it.
So before we start and get into the conversation, if you can introduce yourself as to who you are and what you do, and then we can get the conversation going.
Okay, thank you. Basically, firstly, I would like to thank you. Appreciate it for
Pleasure.
having me on the live. And I've been watching you for a while, and you're doing so well in the industry.
Thank
I'm
you so
so
much.
impressed,
Appreciate it.
and actually, it's a dream to be in partnership to do something with you in the future, and
Absolutely.
uh, and definitely I'm going to be doing, proposing a lot of things to you in the near future. Now,
Inshallah.
uh, my name is Sam Shafiq, originally born in Qatar, bred in the UK. I'm an Arab. Um, well, I've started my life in the UK by studying. My parents from a background where um, you need to go to university, get a good degree, and then get a
It's
good job.
it's the Asian background.
Exactly.
The
So
the 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 peer pressure from the parents is so heavy
exactly,
that you got to do certain things in life that you get to where they want to be, where they
exactly.
want you to be. So it's good. So Sam, you're into property, you're into doing property deals in the UK from all over the world, dealing with clients from the Middle East, from the UK. Before we get into it, you mentioned that you went to university and everything. Did you always aspire that you wanted to become a property entrepreneur, or was there another peer
No, no, it's
pressure?
no, it's just an accident.
Okay.
Generally, it's an accident.
So did you aspire to be something else in life? Like, the Asian backgrounds are such that you got to be a lawyer or a doctor
Well,
or an engineer.
I studied to be a plastic surgeon.
Wow.
Yeah, but I got the degree to the first 3 years. I did it, and then when I had to go to the hospital to do the what is it called, the practice.
Yep.
I looked at the life there, and it was depressing.
Wow.
Depressing at the hospital. It was just depressing, and I knew it wasn't for me.
But can I
So
just ask you something? I mean, plastic surgeons out here today, especially in the UK, are so big. Not just the UK, the European countries itself.
yeah,
They're so
yeah,
big. I mean, I know a few plastic surgeons who've got their clinics in Harley Street, in Beecham Place, and Knightsbridge. all that kind of stuff. So why did you decide to move away from that and get into property?
Well, basically, I didn't move from that into property. While I was at university, I was working at Primark
Okay.
as a member of staff.
Okay.
And when I went to the hospital, it was so depressing that I couldn't go through the hustle to become a plastic surgeon. The end result is good, but it's the process.
So so you had to do the degree, and then you had to
Do
complete
one
your
year,
degree by doing 1 year practice at the hospital.
yeah. So
Okay.
you have a choice of doing 1 year
Okay.
before going into another 3 years of studying.
Okay.
So you can do it in between, or you can do it at the end.
Got you.
And I chose to do it in between. And when I went, literally, I went for 1 day and then left. And I called my mom and I said, "Look, I know you're a doctor. I don't know how you did it, but it's not for me. I'd rather work in a retail shop than become a doctor, because dealing with all these patients, and it was like nonsense. You have to be working, you have to work an emergency in an emergency department at a hospital, and
But you
that's where
did 3 years of studies. That would have been, I mean, the
yeah,
practice would have been much less intense than your studies, I guess. But no?
yeah, yeah. Well, to be honest, right now when I think about it, it's everything. It's got its rough times or rough patches.
Got you.
Yeah, and I wasn't like strong enough to go through that rough patch at that moment. So,
And how
and I
old
did.
were you? How old were you when you started your when you went to the
So,
hospital to do your day?
21. I was 21. So,
Wow.
now I am 34. So, yeah. And then I went into retail, not knowing what I wanted to do. And so I just stuck with it and became a manager at Primark. It wasn't anything special. And
Okay.
then I came across a network marketing business.
Okay.
And when I got into network marketing, my mind literally just opened up
So the network marketing is that pyramid style that
to
you
an
sell
extent.
something, you build a team behind you, you start getting commissions on that, and sort of your team does the work and you get the commission. It's sort of that strategy,
To,
right?
to an extent, yeah, to an extent. Now, at that moment, I realized, oh, I need a lot of personal development.
Got you.
Yeah, and when I had the personal development, um, I started talking to people. I started networking. Now, that was a blessing in my life because I started to network, and that's when I networked with a gentleman called Faz Ullah. He's one of my mentors in property,
Got you.
and through that I've learned a lot. I've learned so much, and I've started building my network marketing business to go to Germany. And when I went to Germany, came back, presented my network marketing business to somebody, and he said, "No, no, no, I don't want to do that. It's whatever, whatever," he said. And then I said, "What do you do?" He's like, "Property." I said, "Yeah, I've got some I've got some money. Do you think I can invest into property?" And he gave me a property literally for £84,000 in Germany. It's
Wow.
outside the city. And when I went there, it was huge, humongous, 600 square meters. And at that moment, that was the turning point for me in property.
So
Plus,
that was your accident. That
that's exactly, exactly.
I would rather say it's a blessing in disguise. You
Yeah,
know, you
yeah,
from how one thing leads you to another. I mean,
exactly.
starting from to be a plastic surgeon, ending up in Primark, then getting to know about the networking events, then to property. I mean, it's all connecting dots, right?
Exactly, exactly. I totally agree there. And that's where I presented my network marketing business to somebody else. He was outside the house that I bought in Germany. He said, "No, no, I'm not interested in that. I can I can give you an idea about what you have right there." And that's where it started. It's about giving ideas, listening to other people, and presenting something that they might not like,
Of
but at
course.
the same time being open to something else.
Of course.
And I turned that into 14 flats
The one in
with,
Germany.
yeah, with a shop outside
Got you.
where a franchisee like Tesco Express
Got you.
has taken that for 30 years as well. So that was the turning point. And then I came back to the UK.
And you held that as an investment till date. You have it.
Yes, yes.
And so you've rented out those properties and you've rented
It's
out the shop
yeah,
and it's generating a passive income on that
yeah,
property, right?
yeah. It's
What sort
generating about 9,000 euros of passive income,
per
obviously
annum, per
per
year,
month.
per
Per
month?
month, yes, per month.
Wow, that's
Yes,
amazing.
so we're including the shop, obviously. We
In percentage terms, do you know the yield?
Okay, so we had a house back home,
Okay,
and we sold it. Yeah,
okay,
and so it's a total investment of mine.
okay,
So it's a bought like I bought it right out and built it right out. If
okay.
that makes any sense.
Got you.
Now, when I got to know about property, they told me, "Oh, you can pull your money out,
The refinance.
refinance." So now, I'm not sure how I would calculate the yield there, but out of 9,120 something, we pay 4,500 for the loan that we have taken out. So we
Yep,
have
yep.
pure 4,500,
In the bank account,
4,620.
coming in
Yes,
the bank account.
obviously
That's
taxes
amazing.
and all and so on, so comes out of
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's in Germany, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
how's the market compared to London?
To be honest, there's nothing like London.
Okay,
Uh, Nothing like London. Germany, it's a it's a lucky dip there for me. Um, but in London, when I came back to London to look at properties, I started within Chelsea. Literally right now in August the 1st, we have a property that we will be building, 7 flats and a shop underneath in Chelsea.
wow,
Uh,
amazing.
uh, the entire project is with the actual building cost and everything cost about 5.1, and the GDV will be
That's that
7.2.
that that's the building acquiring cost, the development cost, everything,
Everything.
all the costs put together. That's 5.1 million, and you'll be getting a GDV of 7.2.
7.2. Yeah.
Wow, amazing,
So
amazing.
2.1, it's the profit. It's not, it wasn't easy. It was a
Question
work of 1 year.
question is, have you instructed an agent on that to sell it or to rent it?
Not yet. That's the next subject in the future. Literally, as you say, life in life there are dots to be connected,
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
I believe right now we are with the dots, or we are in between the dots.
I
Yeah.
hope so. I hope so.
So yeah. So there is a lot to do
Absolutely.
now. I'm not sure if you have seen my Instagram yesterday.
Yes.
Um, I had not a meeting, but I've met one of my friends with his dad, who managed to buy a McLaren for his dad
Yes,
for
I saw
Father's
that.
Day.
I saw
Yeah,
that. I saw that.
so
Yep.
I was like, wow, 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 and that is from being a developer.
Absolutely.
A young man who is 28 years old started in developing properties about 4 years ago,
And
and
he develops properties in the UK.
develops properties in the UK. He doesn't have Instagram. That's the only issue. He's not very good with the social media,
Yep.
but they're really good. They're doing really good. He came to the country in 2010.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
from, yeah, he's from Iraq, and he brought his family from Iraq, and he got into property about 4 years ago. So
Yep.
6 years in the country and got into property,
Wow.
into building properties, and now he builds over 100 properties all over the UK.
Wow. That's
In
amazing.
fact, in fact, we have a village to be built right outside M25 towards M11.
Okay. So sort of going towards Cambridge kind of thing.
Yes, towards Harlow, if you know where that
Got you.
is.
Yes, I've heard of Harlow.
Yeah, Harlow
Coming
and
back to
Swansea.
your life and your property business and everything. So are you a full-time property developer, or you're also on the side, you do go and show out other properties to other clients for brokering purposes? Do you do that as well, or is just simply developing properties?
So, to be honest, when you are in property, you do everything and anything.
You do everything, right? Yeah,
Yeah, whatever comes your way, you just do it. Now,
absolutely.
we have formed a company, me and few of my business partners. In fact, it's four of us,
Okay.
and we have started in stock on trend.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have acquired so far on rent-to-rent basis. We have acquired 39 properties on a rent-to-rent basis.
So it's like that guaranteed rent kind of income that you give the
Yes,
landlord and you sublet the property on a higher rent, and you make an income out of that. Wow,
yes.
39 properties, and those are based in
Stock on
London
trend.
or
Stock on
okay.
trend.
Wow.
Stock on
Wow,
trend.
that's
And
amazing.
we bear in mind we have started on 24th of February. So about 3 months ago or
And
four
you've
months
already
ago.
got 39 properties on your books.
39 properties. And we have actually purchased a land where we are about to, we have applied for 14 flats, but they have given us a permission of 8 flats. Yeah,
It's
it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And it's a good start to do there with the business partners as
why
they,
this is the question I would like to ask you, what you just mentioned right now, that you went to the council and you applied for 14 units, right? And they
yeah.
gave you the permission of 8 units. Whereas we know that there is a short demand of property supplies in the UK. You know,
Hmm.
year on year, that demand is increasing, but the supply isn't there. So why would they not give you, what was the issues that you had for them not to give you that planning for the 14 units?
So where the it's all about the position of the house with this one.
Got you.
Where it is positioned, it will actually block the view, and it's all about views in the property business. If you
Yep.
block somebody's view, um, you will not be able to build.
But that's always
Uh,
the case, right? There's so
yeah,
many
yeah,
views being blocked on a daily basis that you
yes.
can't.
Now we are challenging it.
Okay.
We
So
are, we
you're
are,
going into appeal with it and everything.
yeah, we are challenging it. But what they are saying is, if you can buy the one next door, so it will be easier to build more
14 unit.
flats.
Okay.
No,
So more than
uh,
14. So something like
yeah,
20, 21 flats.
about 24 flats.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
so
are you planning to buy that property?
we literally spoke to the landlord on Saturday, and they didn't accept to sell, but what they are saying is, oh, they want to share into the project,
So something like a JV.
like that. Okay,
So
which is,
are you open to JVs?
we are 100% open to JVs, 100%,
Wow.
because what we want is more people being involved and more people knowing about what they could do in property
And
and what they could.
as an individual that comes into the JV with you, obviously it's about the money or whatever they're bringing to the table. But as an individual, do you also base your JV decisions on what that individual, who that individual is, or what their character is like, or the fact that when you sit down with them in a meeting, and in the first instance you think that, "Hmm, you know, we can see something that is not going to shape up really well," or they might not bringing in the money that you wanted, or possibly the land that you wanted, but their character is so amazing that you want to go ahead and work with that person just to make the relationship build. Which one's your perfect criteria?
So being in network marketing have helped me meet all kind of people,
Yep,
and meet different people on a daily basis,
of
and
course.
speak to people on a daily basis. Now, when it's all about connections, it's all about
Absolutely.
vibe. Uh,
Absolutely.
Business can be made through, I believe leadership can build the business. A business cannot build the leadership.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It it
So
it it comes from within, right? It's what you
exactly.
strategize, what you plan for your business, and that business will then in turn give you the return to be the person that you want to be, right? I
Um,
totally agree with that. So in terms of your business model, you're into rent to rent, you're into property investments, you're into property development. Which one of these three do you think are the most viable in today's market?
to be honest, uh, knowing what I know now, uh, I think property development is the best strategy, because you can get into property development with £0 into your account.
Of course.
Yeah, you can get into that and literally build. Obviously, you can start small, and when you get the experience within the first 18 months, then you can go as big as you want, as
But Sam,
big as you can think.
I've also heard that let's say you're a new property developer on the market, and you're going to do your first property development. Banks are really tough on first time property developers. Like, the first thing that they mention is experience. So
100%.
so how do you overcome that barrier? I mean, a lot of developers that I've spoken to, or a lot of property investors that I've spoken to, they have mentioned doing a JV with an experienced property developer first, and to bring that experience onto your books and to say that, okay, look, I've done this, this, and this. This is where my experience lies. Have you ever had that situation in your property
Yes.
development?
Yeah. So I have a friend of mine who wanted to get involved in property,
Okay,
and I've mentored them into getting their first property to um,
develop.
to develop.
Okay.
Now, how did we do that? It's There's so many people out there who are homeowners, and they just want to have an extension.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So um, it happened to be what we did. We spoke to about 30 to 40 people in within his street, wherever he lived, and one of them wanted to do a loft extension,
And
and
a
uh,
conserv
uh,
and a back extension.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So what we did, he basically just became the project manager for
Got you.
free,
Got you.
and managed everything, got everything together, got a builder, got everything. That's
And
it.
put everything, and that was his experience basically. So he didn't
Fantastic.
even have to go into a JV. He didn't have to even put money down. He just went to the next door neighbor and said, "I'll manage your property in terms of developing it." Wow, that's an amazing strategy. You put just
Yeah,
hit my mind with. I mean, that's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
So, well, it wasn't easy. Just so
Of
we
course, I
are
mean,
clear.
nothing is easy. But when you think about it and when you see it from what you did to where you've come, I'm sure it now sounds easy, but at that
Yeah.
point, it wasn't easy
Yeah, no,
to
not at all.
because I'm sure the next door neighbor would have had other quotations, other contractors that he may have had quotes from. So it would have been hard for your friend to get into doing that property. But it's a really good idea. Rather than doing a
Mm,
JV, just
mm,
find the next loft extension that's being done on your street and go ahead and project manage it. It's absolutely a good
yeah.
tip to put out there for new property developers who are wanting to go out and develop. They can possibly use the strategy and get done with it.
Mm.
um so what's in plan for now that you see the market right now, right? It's I'm not going to say that it's dead or it's slow, but where do you see the UK property development market going from here on?
I genuinely like everybody. That's basically my opinion. Everybody says, "Oh, the prices are going to go down," and so and so. I've been in the over Zoom, over Instagram, over phone calls, over. I've been to most probably 100, if not more, meetings about selling a house, buying a house, selling a house, buying a house.
Gotcha.
And literally every property that I was involved in to look at or to see or to buy or to sell, it actually went 5% more than what it should be sold.
Wow. And
Yeah.
you
So
actually and you went in and did you bid for those properties?
so I did bid for some of the properties,
Okay.
and my bid was like nowhere near the price that was sold.
So you are seeing the market going up
Going up,
in terms of
going up.
even if there are development deals out there or first time buyer properties out there or investment properties out there, you're seeing
Uh,
them actually
yeah.
being bought at 5% what of the asking price, basically. You
Yes,
know.
yes, yes.
Wow.
Because what I'm expecting is expecting the market to go 8% down, yeah, and then so I can buy. If that makes any
And
sense.
and has that happened yet?
Not yet, not yet. And I believe, obviously, my business partners believe that it will go down in July.
And
However,
why do you think that is?
I believe because people think,
No, you mentioned
because,
your business partners think that it will go down in July. So why do they think that?
to be honest, I haven't had a proper conversation with them of why, but they believe the market is about to crash because of the pandemic
But
that
the
we went.
pandemic, we're
Yeah,
we're we're sort of out of. I mean, we wouldn't say about the pandemic, but in terms of lockdown and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff, we're now getting out of it. So rather than it going up in July, you're mentioning that it's going to come down in July. Could
That's
that
what they
be
believe.
could that be based on the fact that possibly the furlough scheme is coming to an end and that would have a major effect on companies, on employment, on mortgages, on
Exactly.
repossessions. So it would be like a domino effect.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy you're waiting for. I hope you can get something out of it.
Well, I'm actually not waiting for it. It's my business partners that are waiting for this. However, if there is a property out there, I'm planning to have um, a minimum of 100 development projects by 2022.
In 2 years.
Yeah, because what I believe is it's a process.
Yeah,
It's the entire thing is a process. You are not actually out there building the property.
of
All
course
what
not.
you need,
You have your
all what you
people, you
need.
have your team, you have your builders
Yeah.
who are doing that sort of stuff.
Imagine if you have one team that does one property development. If you have 10 of them, they do 10. If you have 100, yeah, they do 100.
And
It's
and is it very easy for you to go out and find these teams? I mean, obviously you might have five or six that you work with constantly, right, on your
mm,
property development projects. But then to go out and find these 100 teams and to trust them and to make sure that they deliver what they're saying, is that easy for you
so
to go out and get
so
that?
it's not easy at all, but because I'm involved in a network marketing business,
Got you.
um, there is a team there.
So
I'm
there's a
building a team.
referral and all
Yeah,
those kind
so
of things that come in. Yep,
you do business there, then because you trust them in that business, it just automatically the trust moves to the next project
absolutely,
that you do
absolutely,
together.
absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. But thank you so much for coming on and sharing all that knowledge about how did you start your property development and how can someone start their property development business in this market, in this current climate. Thank you so much for coming on. Before you go, Sam, I do this with all my guests to share some positive advice, some positive energy with the viewers out there. You know, this live session will stay on as long as my profile's on so people can come and see it anytime that they want. What positive advice would you like to share with them today so that they can take that on board? And obviously, it's a Monday today, start of the week, motivation, all that kind of stuff. What positive energy would you like to share with them?
Um, there's one word that has changed my life, and that word is courage.
Wow.
We we were in Spain, and um, me and three other friends of mine, and a friend of mine went into the shower and there was no hot water. So
Okay.
he started shouting, "Courage, courage," while I was cooking breakfast.
Yeah.
At that moment, I I had somebody who I wanted to be with, as in real life, as in to be my partner, to be my wife, and I was scared to speak to them.
Okay.
But when that was playing in my mind,
So you shouted
courage,
out
courage,
courage, courage, courage.
courage, courage. So I spoke to them there and then, and now they are my wife, and we have
Wow.
two kids.
Wow.
Now, and then every time there's something going on in my life, I say, courage, 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 and I go and speak to somebody. And that led me to do deals after deals after deals after deals. And literally every time I want to do something is just building my courage into speaking to the new person. And
To
that
go
new
out
person could
to
lead you to anywhere.
absolutely. It's all about networking and as you
Yeah,
mentioned, courage, you know, to have that courage and to build on that, to move on in life and to escalate in life to get where you want. I mean, I'll keep that tip in mind. That's an amazing
thank
tip, you
you.
know, especially
Thank
when
you.
I'm going out and doing sales viewings or property viewings, you know, it'll be good to sort of have that courage, courage, courage. Just
Yes.
speak to yourself, you know. But thank you so much for coming on, Sam,
Thank
and
you.
sharing all of
Appreciate it.
that. It's been an amazing, great 30 minutes spent with you, learning about what you do, how you do it, and hopefully one day we'll do business together.
Definitely. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Sam.
Have a
Take care.
lovely day. Take
You
care. Bye
too.
bye.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye. So that was Sam Shafiq, a property developer in the UK, in London. You heard what he mentioned about how he goes out to find his deals. I know it's been a bit fuzzy today. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's an amazing, absolutely great live session to be part of, to learn, and really, I learned something new today that if you don't want to do a JV as a first-time property developer, go out and find a project that you can manage to build that on your CV, to show it to the bank, to get that development finance for your next project. Absolutely amazing. Thank you to Sam for joining me this afternoon, and thank you to all the viewers that tuned in. It's been absolutely amazing, and hopefully join me again for my next live session. Thank you so much. Have a great Monday, whatever you're doing. Take care. Bye bye.